Welcome back guys. A free demo of Star Wars Outlaws is now available on Steam Store. It gives us access to the game for only 3 hours. In the demo, our character K is building a crew to pull off a big heist to deal with a bounty on her head. The search for a mercenary takes her to the dunes of Tatooine, the last known whereabouts of a legendary gunslinger named Hoss. I tested the launch version of this game on my Rog Ally. Performance was not good at all. Game was stuttering in the open world, especially when I was riding my speedster. In this game we cannot disable ray tracing. It makes the game very heavy on the GPU. And the game also consumes a lot of memory. Expect the game to stutter from time to time on PCs with 16 GB of memory like Rog Ally and Steam Deck. I'll also test the game on my Steam Deck that has SteamOS. I'll kick things off with Rog Ally. Adrenaline settings for the game: FreeSync, VSync and anti-lag settings enabled. For this game I have set the UMA buffer size to auto. My Ally is running on BIOS version 341. I have installed AMD's GPU driver Adrenaline Edition version 25.3.1 using a 27 watts manual profile, all 3 power values set at 27 watts. CPU boost disabled, resolution set to 720p. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to Ally via 2.4 GHz wireless mode. Launch the game. Using a custom Afterburner overlay to show you the performance metrics. In-game video settings, display mode set to borderless. Resolution 720p. Cinematic frame rate unlocked. Upscaler set to FSR 3. Game does support XCSS upscaler, but we won't be able to use FSR frame generation then. Go back to FSR 3. Frame generation disabled for the time being. Upscaler mode set to fix. Upscaler quality set to balance. The game will still hit the GPU bottleneck on Ally. Apply. Graphics settings using the low preset. Film grain disable, depth of field set to low. Motion blur intensity set to nil. NVIDIA RTSS direct lighting set to off. Advanced settings, everything set to low. Fog blur disable. Shadow proxies enabled. Ray tracing settings, they can't be disabled. Jump into the game. Alright, we are in space. Need to land on this planet. Here we are getting close to 60 FPS. That's really good to see. Whenever we are about to land on a planet, the game stutters a lot. Initiate landing. Show you this. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. Hitting the GPU bottleneck. There's barely anything on the display. The world will load now. This will cause the FPS to tank. 40 FPS. You see the stutters. Yeah. 23 FPS. Animation is looking a bit choppy. In the launch version of the game used to freeze here for a few seconds on Rog Ally. Landing successful. Cutscene. Getting close to 40 FPS, not bad. 32 FPS. Yeah, this game is still very heavy on the GPU. Now I can control my character. Inside our ship we are getting close to 30 FPS. You can improve the frame pacing by enabling FSR frame generation. Talk to the sheriff, my current objective. Okay, now I'll enable frame generation. FPS should be within a range of 50 to 60. Frame generation on. Apply. Estimated VRAM usage. Back to the game. The FPS increased to around 55. Can observe the added amount of smoothness, but I am also experiencing an increase in latency. But it's manageable. We are using a gamepad to play the game. Sometimes K's head flickers when I move the camera around. It's expected as the base FPS is on the lower side. Okay, I'll just look for the sheriff now. Explore the ghost town. Some graphical artifacts. No one's here. Found a guy. Interact with him. HUD elements don't flicker. Frame generation works even during the cutscenes. Skip the cutscene. Combat time. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. Yeah, 55 to 60 FPS. That's Nyx, our companion. Nyx can help us during combat. Now I'll be traversing the open world. There's my speedster. Hopefully the game won't stutter here. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. Yep, K's shadow is flickering. I'm also observing some garbled textures on the screen. They occur from time to time. Common FSR frame generation related artifact. Destination is 1.3 kilometers away from us. It's the boost. So not the ideal experience on Rog Ally, but you can play the game. K's head is flickering. You will observe a lot of graphical artifacts with frame generation on. You can disable it if you want, but then the animation will look very jarring. FPS will be within a range of 30 to 40. It's up to you how you want to play the game. See, 50 FPS here with frame generation. Space FPS should be close to 25. Restart destination. Dismount. May get attack here. See some creatures. I'll attack them first. One creature down. Oh no, they're coming after me. I need to reload my gun. Missed with the timing there. These creatures are not very fast. Only 2 creatures are remaining. And now they are running away. See? Use my grappling hook. Looking for horsehair. Okay, now I'll test the game on Steam Deck. Average experience on Rog Ally, but the game is playable. My Steam Deck is running on SteamOS version 3.7.3 preview build. I'm using G Proton version 9-27 as the compatibility layer. This is the LCD variant of deck. Display supports up to 60Hz refresh rate. You need to sign to your Ubisoft Connect account even for the Steam version of the game. This is the game's menu. Here the game does not detect Steam Deck controller for some reason, not sure why. I'm using the gamepad template. I'll just use my keyboard to start the game. Game is installed on deck's internal SSD, not on a mechanical hard drive. Game settings, 800p resolution. Upscaler set to FSR 3. Frame generation disabled for the time being. Upscaler mode set to fix. Using the upscaler's ultra performance preset, this will make the game look very pixelated. Graphics preset set to low. Motion blur disabled. No access to NVIDIA RTSS direct lighting. Advanced graphics setting, again everything set to low. Shadow proxy is on. These ray tracing settings cannot be disabled. Low to medium. Performance QM settings. OLED level set to 2. Disable SteamOS pacing by enabling disable frame limit and allow tearing settings. We are in space. Just land on this planet. Yeah, here FPS is close to 40. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck. Boost. Game will stutter when we are about to land on the planet. I'll show you this sequence. Initiate landing. I keep an eye on the FPS counter. FPS is already below 30. Oh no, dropped down to around 20. Look at it, CPU load 80 to 87%. Eight FPS. Planet textures got loaded up. I just connected my X input controller, it worked. I use it to play the game, and our ship we are getting close to 20 FPS. Deck cannot maintain a steady 30 FPS in this game. Animation is looking a bit choppy as expected. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck. Looking for the sheriff. You can enable FSR frame generation, but it will produce a considerable amount of latency. Show you this. Frame generation on. We cannot combine XeSS upscaler with FSR frame generation in this game. Resume the game. Yeah, FPS increased to around 40. Can observe the added amount of smoothness. Also observing some graphical artifacts around case character model when I move the camera. See, latency increased as well. It's up to you how you want to play the game with or without frame generation. Personally, I would not recommend running this game on Steam Deck. Skip the cutscene. If you really want to play this game on Steam Deck, I would recommend using GeForce Now Cloud Game Streaming Service. Yeah, there was a stutter there. Combat time. I gave Nix the command to attack them. Need to follow this guy to his office. He's a bit slow. 30 FPS with frame generation. Very bad experience. This game has received many updates since its release. Still, it's very heavy on the hardware. I would not call this game playable on Steam Deck. This is not even the most demanding area in this game. Now I'll traverse the open world. Mount my speedster. There it is. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. Oh my god, what happened to K's head? It's flickering so aggressively. Same thing for K's shadow. Observing some garbled textures. FPS is within a range of 30 to 40. Safe to say the game is not playable on Steam Deck. Stuttering. Stutters from time to time. That's it with the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.